What do you think of the current state of the industry?
It's rubbish. I don't know. Don't have any thoughts. Everyone,
Rubbish.
shut up.
I don't have any thoughts. Everyone shut up.
Everyone, just shut up.
Are you ready for episode 4 of Freeroam? Because it's here. You're looking at it and listening to it with your ears and eyes. It's with Michael Anderson from ustwo Games. Mike Anderson, he's the producer there. He's a long-standing friend of mine because I've been working with ustwo Games for ages and ages. It's a really fun chat. It was 2 hours at one point. I've cut it down to 1 hour because I cut out all the stuff that only me and Mike would enjoy because we are, as I say, we have been friends for a long time, and I mean, it's funny to me and to him, but probably quite tedious to the rest of you. So I've cut it right down. So be thankful and grateful, all right? We talk about games we've been playing. We talk about scary moments in games. I do cut to a few little scary moments for reference, but I don't spring them on you. But they are in there if that bothers you. But it's only a couple. You'll be fine. But they are there, so you know. But it's not like, boo, like that. None of that. We talk about Alba, we talk about Monument Valley, and we talk about Assemble with Care. 3 of ustwo games. We talk about the design of all that stuff, and we get into that and how they've been working through lockdown and how they've adapted. It's a nice bit of chat with that. It's really good. It's a good laugh. Lots of silliness. Edited down to a lovely, palatable 1 hour chunk of stupidity that you do not have to suffer. And yes, that is a dog barking outside because when you record from home, there isn't a moment's peace. Anyway, please enjoy this podcast at your leisure. This is Michael Anderson from ustwo Games, and this is Freeroam, episode 4.
Are we recording now?
Yeah.
Oh, put that in there, mate.
Yeah,
Put
I
it in
will.
the cup.
I will,
Can you
mate.
get sponsors like Eat Natural?
Yeah. What is it? Oh, yeah. Those are
It's a
tight.
crunchy nut bar. What happens if you just advertise a brand in your podcast without permission?
You know they do that
Would
on...
they just get in touch and be like, "Can you stop doing that, please?" They're not going to say that. They're going to be like, "Do you want some? Do you want a couple bars? Thanks for that. Do you want a couple bars? We actually sold like 4 bars because of you, so we'll give you
Can
like
be like,
one and a
do
bit."
you want some? Just get your phone starts ringing. You're like, all right, do you want some? What, mate?
Hello?
Some bars.
Yeah, it was good. Nice one. Cheers.
Yeah.
Cheers for that, Gary. Nice one. Yeah, this is Dave Natural,
I love
CEO of Eat Natural Bars Limited.
You've
What
got
have
all
I
your.
got here?
You look like you've had all your sponsors like grayed out and not
Got
grayed
my-
out.
I know, yeah, it
blurred
looks
out.
like it. Innit? Red Bull can, like, yeah, what's that? Yeah, mate, just got my my
Dove.
Dove Go Fresh roll on with a pear and aloe vera scent. It's really nice, actually. Yeah, it's really cool. Just got that
Oh,
there.
man. What would
Remember
you think?
Daigo when he turned this little Red Bull can so the branding was facing the camera? What was that? Maybe it was Red Bull. Where's that one? Kumites.
That was Daigo,
Or
yeah.
Daigo, like, he just rotated the can to make
He
sure.
ran. It was in between rounds as well. They were having like
Yeah.
a round. He won a round in the middle of the game, and he ran off to the fridge. I was like, "What's he doing?" Got one really quickly, and then put it down. And then was like,
Just rotated. Just bang. Make sure.
just was like that.
Secure my sponsorships, mate.
Oh, the boom and the overhead.
Daigo Umahara with the first game, and look at the way he is playing. It's not a traditional Guile style at all.
Hey, when he got up and grabbed the, now that's how you, now that's a sponsor right there. That's how you get sponsored right there. He got up in the match, grabbed the Red Bull, and when he look at this,
Look, all right, this is how you keep. This is how you pay the bills, right? This is how you make sure that at the end of the day, that beat
He's like,
shirt
I
is
did
not
it.
going anywhere. Yeah.
Have you played Resi 7? Have you played the boys?
Played it
The
as a group. Played it back in the
You
studio.
played it as a group in
in
the
VR.
studio?
We had
Oh,
because
you
we got the
didn't.
PSVR at work, so we were all playing it after work and taking turns and stuff.
I was about
Because
to...
I can't play them on my own.
No,
so
I
I'll
was
be too
about to
scared.
go in on you for being like, "Oh, playing it in a group doesn't count," and then you played like it in VR. I'm like, "Okay, I'm playing it in VR." Jesus, so you do like a section each in VR or something?
Yeah, everyone go like, go on, mate. It's wicked. Like some people, Joel, really trigger happy, mate. We're like,
Joel.
you understand this is like a survival game, yeah?
Joel
And
from
ammo,
for
Us Two Game.
the viewers.
Joel Beardshaw, lead
Yes.
designer at Us2 Games.
Yes, thank you.
He's. We were like, Joel, you're using up all the ammo, mate. When it's my turn, I've got like 3 bullets. I'm like, I don't know what you expect me to achieve.
That's bad. See, that's not nice.
He's like, squeeze. We're like, Joel, you're such a nice guy. Eh?
Yeah, it's like the
Everyone, like,
nicest person
in the game,
in the world.
Die, zombie, die.
He's just like,
unleash the whole clip. We're like, technically already dead, mate. Like, you didn't need to shoot it.
This is the
20
thing with
times.
Joel. He's like the nicest guy. He's super nice, super accommodating. Like, there's no hint of like any kind of hyper masculinity or anything in him, like at all. Right? Nothing like that. He's he's lovely. And yet he worked on like 50 Cent Blood on the Sand.
It's so good.
That bitch has got my skull, and I want it back.
He's left you like 2 bullets. See, that isn't, in my opinion, that's tight. Because then you're
It's
just
very
like,
tight, mate.
as in like Manchester tight. That's tight. Because then you have to do the next bit with no bloody ammo. You're getting the knife.
But you had a knife in it. I'm trying to remember.
Yeah,
I haven't got a good memory for scary games because they're too scary. So my
so
mind tries to repress them
I'm quite
to
early on
protect
in
my
it.
id
To protect your id.
and my ego.
Nice.
I'm trying to remember like psychology stuff from A level. Trying to sound smart. I want to come off smart on your podcast, Gary. Mate. I don't want to just don't want to be like an idiot. You know what I mean? When people are like, he says good words, mate. That's a good quote.
You
You
protected
can run
his
that
id.
as a quote. Protect
Protect my id.
I feel like I'm drinking too much water and I'm gonna need a wee in like 4 minutes.
Oh my god. Because I'm up to the bit with the old house. Marguerite. I have to go and sort her out. Like that game is like mad scary. Apparently, I heard it gets a bit sillier later on, like all Resi's do, and it's a little bit more not chill, but like you got more weapons and the enemies get a bit more weird. I'm already hitting those nests of like mosquito fellas, and they're grim, but they're not frightening. You're just like that sort of hit a bit where I'm like, oh, this feels more like a video game now. Video game enemies, you know what I mean? Like,
Okay, cool. I'm not actually at risk of
I feel
being killed
alright now.
anymore. Okay, cool.
But like,
Oh,
when
it's just ridiculous. It's just crazy Japanese game ideas. Okay, cool.
It's crazy. Wicked. I feel better now. I've got a shotgun. I'm shotgunning mosquitoes. Do you know what I mean? I feel a bit better now.
Shotgun's probably a good weapon against mosquitoes. Just like the
spread,
scatters,
yeah.
The spread might actually hit. Like you couldn't.
Yeah,
if you had a
yeah.
pistol, you can only ever get one, can't you?
Yeah.
That's the problem.
You have to be a hell of a
You have
shot.
to pick which one is
You're just
like
like-
bam. Just
What about like a
flavour
western
of-
where like a Clint Eastwood type is like taking mosquitoes out of the
not
sky?
classical.
Imagine that. But
It's bang and Magnum and just.
when it opens, when that game starts, and you have to go. I mean, spoilers. Of Resident
Spoiler
Evil
alert,
7.
mate,
Go
spoiler.
forward some minutes. I might tell you now. It might come up and say go to this time. And
What
can you
got
see
in
it?
your hand,
It's
mate?
there. This is the
Microphone.
the microphone to this.
Fancy, mate.
But I've got
Okay.
a nicer one. Here it'll say, please go to this point in the video. And then you won't get any spoilers.
That's clever, mate.
The bit at the start where you find your wife and she's got all the...
Mate, that's a big spoiler, mate.
Well, yeah, but I just said move ahead.
That's true. That's true.
So now if they're still listening... But,
Right, sorry. Please continue with the Resident Evil 7. Should I just mute myself? That's probably best for everyone. Best for all the viewers, listeners. You can just mute me. You run the meeting. You be like mute. It's Mike. Mike, shut up, mate. Mute.
It's just you sat there going, yeah. That's good. That's good shit. That's good muting. Yeah, it's well scary at the start when you meet your wife and then she's like, you better go because I've got the business. I've had the jab, but not the good one, whatever the bad one is.
Mm-hmm.
The T virus, isn't it?
Scary.
You ain't vaccinating that, mate. And then she just keeps going like and coming after you and shit. And it's like, oh mate. And do you know what really got like? So when it's like that, and you're in a house that just looks like a house, it is like, I was like, my neck hurt after 2 hours of it. So I'm just like, oh my god, can't. They're just the tingles, man. It's really it's really good for that, especially like horror games. Like they are obviously they can make you jump, but like all the stuff in it is like, as I was saying, like video game mosquitoes and shit, like, like whatever, mate. Fucking mosquitoes. Oh no, it's a big mosquito. That's just like real life. But she comes out. There's a bit, and this is a proper spoiler in case you're like, I don't want
Spoiler alert! Everyone,
massive.
Listen up! Spoiler alert!
There's a bit where after you've dealt with it for the first time, and you have to stab her in the neck and all that shit, and she goes down, and you're like, right, I'm getting out of here. The game has that thing where it keeps doing little. I'm making good points to this, where it has that thing where it does loads of noises. Like, for example, there's one, or my chair, for example. And all this stuff, but they go around. They happen quite a lot, and there's a bit where it does a noise, like around the corner, like and you're like, oh, it's just another one of those. And she just walks out, yeah. And she walks out. That bit where she goes, "Why did you do that to me?" But there's no like big noise. She just comes around the corner. There's that little closet. So you know when you walk past the kitchen, come out the kitchen, on your right, there's like that little side closet. She comes out of that as you're going back towards the kitchen. She's just like, but there's no big noise. There's no like, there's
no fanfare. So what you done that for?
Yeah. You're like that. She's just like, why have you done that? And you're just like,
Ah!
Ethan, it's okay. It's okay. It's me. I know you didn't mean to hurt me. You shouldn't have done that! It fucking hurts!
it's like really. I nearly weed. That's a really
There's a
good
moment
bit.
like that in the first BioShock.
Is that
as well?
I've not played it. Spoilers, no. I'm not going to play
Spoiler
it.
alert!
So
There's a
spoil
part
me.
where you just get in something like an upgrade. I actually forgot all the words.
Yeah.
One of they're like syringes. You like give yourself like a shot if I remember correctly, and you get like a powder.
I've not played it.
You
and I know
do
that.
one of those. You go through. You sneak in this little area. It's all closed off. There's no one around. And then you just you go, oh, wicked! I'm just gonna get this little upgrade. Squeeze that in. As soon as you turn around, there's just someone like in your face, and I had to pause the game, and I was like, no sound. You get the thing like the UI pops up like, oh, you've got Punch-a-rama. Now you can punch everyone 5 times and they'll die. Wicked, cool. Right, let me go back. Turn around, and it's just right in your face. And I had to pause it, and I had to take about 5 minutes to just breathe and just get my composure back, get the heart rate back down.
What? You're crying!
And then just like Punch-a-rama. Straight to the face, straight to the dome.
Those are the worst ones, man. When there's no like horror noise, it's just like, they're like, mate, you alright? No.
Yeah. It's the new thing. Scary games, you don't have to have any sort of grotesque creatures with like blade arms. It's just like, it doesn't just put something in front of your face. Like I used to have this little scary sort of daydream when I was a kid. When I was like mowing the lawn, right? I was mowing the lawn in the back. And I always used to think, what if I turned around and there was just like a scary monster just at the door? I was like, what would I do? I'd have to like climb over the fences and run away. Because like, I can't go back in the house, obviously.
No,
there's a big zombie in there. If there's like just someone stood there like that.
When you're mowing the lawn?
Yeah, because the mowing the lawn is quite loud, so I wouldn't be able to hear anyone shout, like, help, Mike! The mowing the lawn is quite loud. Lawn mowers are loud, isn't it? And then if I just stopped and turned around, there was like a demon just stood there like... Like, well, I guess I don't live here anymore. Don't know if I should reveal this, but we found a little exploit when we were playing in VR on 7, mate.
Yeah.
So you know, there's like boxes with stuff in.
I do.
And sometimes, spoiler alert, sometimes they're booby trapped and they explode. With the VR, it does head tracking like forward and backwards. So we would move really close to the box, and if you just push your head forward enough, you'd see what was in the box, and you could see the little bomb like game asset, and be like, all right, that's a booby trap. We're not even going to bother hitting that. So we were sort of like...
What does it look like?
Is
it like an icon saying this will be a bomb rather than like a...
I think it had a little like... it felt like a sort of like a mine, like a sea mine kind of, like a spiky kind of ball, if I remember correctly.
But it was more like an
probably can't
icon
remember.
to tell the dev who was making it
like-
that was in there, rather than like the player to see.
Maybe. I think so. Don't know. Maybe I forgot. They just didn't check it. But we did that, and we used that to our advantage. We were like, okay, look, we're not gonna unnecessarily lose health now by hitting booby-trapped things with our knife.
Did you try that on the walls and stuff? You get right up to the walls and like see if you put your face through.
I think you couldn't clip I don't think the clipping was on there. I think you could clip a bit through the boxes.
Imagine
only.
if that's where they keep all the family members and stuff when they're not being used, and you just put your head
They
through
just
and
all
it's like,
stood
you know,
there.
there,
All
like you
stood there,
said, they're like that.
They all stood there, T-pose, waiting to be loaded in.
Because that happened in that happens in PT. Did you see that? In PT, there was a guy who I always forget his name. I mentioned it on the previous episode of this very.
Click up here. Click here to go to that previous one that
that
Gary's mentioned. Yep.
I'll go straight to the point. If I can be asked doing that, it won't turn up. And like I've forgotten his name, but basically he goes into computer games and he breaks them down the code and he
like writes the codes and that on them. He writes the codes on them. Yeah.
Cracks them like a cool guy. And then he finds out how they're made. So he comes outside of the space and finds out where everything's kept and shit like that. You know, and all the gubbins that you're not meant to see. And apparently Lisa is always attached to your back. You know, the ghost woman. She's always stuck to your back like the whole time.
It's not nice. I don't like that.
Yeah,
I don't like knowing
and then like when it triggers, she just turns you around because he zoomed out the camera into third person. She's there. She's literally like stuck to you like that.
It's like, and then when you move the like no clip camera, see her, she's like,
yeah. She turns around and looks at you.
Prank, hey, you got me.
It's
hey,
a prank,
I was in
bro.
the
It's a
back.
prank.
Click and play is the first thing I ever made a game in. Yeah.
Is it? What'd you make?
Yeah, it's really good.
What'd you make? Tell me. I made stuff as well. I'll tell you what I made.
Alright, so I wanted to make Doom, yeah.
Oh yeah.
But what I ended up with, I drew a hand like that, holding a gun, and it would just slide along the bottom of the screen. And when you press space, a bullet would come out and it would hit stuff. So it was like, imagine you made like a shmup version of Doom, which isn't anything like Doom at all.
You made one of those flash ads that go along the bottom of the screen that's like, catch the gun, and then like you press it and you go to like some fucking...
And immediately, it's like, hey, like tap here to shoot. Trust me, tap here and it'll shoot. It's not going to just immediately open up that flipping Google Play Store. I don't know how it's even allowed, to be honest. I was like, why does it literally say, like, you can play this? Nah, just kidding. We're going to take you to the shop, mate, idiot.
How did they get around
Why is that not illegal? I don't get it. Or the games that just have like a completely different game that they're advertising, and when you download it, it's like match 3. You're like,
what? It's just like complete Wild West
how's
shit.
that not illegal?
Oh,
yeah,
God.
how's that not illegal? I mean, I know some of the games have had to add those like game modes now
God.
just to justify the ads, because otherwise they'll get sued by courts of law.
And those weird ads you get on YouTube now for like games that don't exist, but they have these mad 3D like characters and stuff, and they're just weird. It's like it's like a crime simulator, and you're a guy, and you go along, you're like a level 2 criminal, and like a zombie
Level 2
comes
thug,
around,
and you walk around,
and there's like a horrible sexist bit where there's like a sexy woman, and she's like level 60, and she goes,
and it's like, do I go with a sexy woman
or do I
go
shoot
with
the
a
zombie?
And because it's close. It's a hard decision. Not sure. Let me weigh up the options.
And then the game is like, again, the game's a match 3.
You're like, why? How?
It's got nothing
So,
to do.
how much money did it cost to make this video?
Yeah,
I guess it's
more
really
than
cheap
the-
to get them done. More than the game. I
Well,
don't
they
know.
look like, do you ever see that Twitter account, 3D Cool World?
Oh,
And
yes.
It's loads of weird. They all look like the guy from that made them,
Yeah.
but just
3D
like
Cool World.
less terrifying.
I've not been on there in ages. I used to go on it all the time.
It's mental. It just looks. It
There's
makes
one
you
where it's
think
like,
of those.
keep going. Remember the one that was like, keep going. Keep going. And it was like just sort of, yeah, I don't know how it's got the really good squelchy sounds on it all the time, and it's got like the
horrible.
really weird fluid animation. It's always really disgusting. Everything's like really jiggly and like gelatinous. But this one's like, keep going. I think it was one with like someone's like sucking on toes or something. It's like, keep going.
That's so grim.
It's really messed up. It's really good. But yeah, my favorite like paradigm of game ad is when it has like the same game twice with a split screen, and it's like someone's clearly doing really rubbish, and it says like my dad level 1. And it's like oh, so it says my mum. It's like level 100, and it's like all this shit's going on. It's like my dad, my mum, and it's like all this stuff's happening. I'm like, what's this? What does this mean? I've been playing Scrabble in lockdown a lot with my mum, and my sisters. We've been playing Scrabble, like a family Scrabble.
What have you
Scrabble
been playing?
games.
What have you been playing? Section started. I've been playing Scrabble. Right, go on then.
Been playing Scrabble, and
Out of
you
10?
get adverts a lot of the time.
What'd you give it?
7.
A 7. Yeah, okay.
Let's give it a 7. I mean, the core Scrabble gameplay is there, but they've added a bunch of like retention-y kind of mechanics in it. Like you need to collect like fragments of pieces to get different tiles with like things on, and you keep getting like requests from random people to play games, and I'm like, I only want to play with people I know. I don't want to play with randos.
Yeah, that's gonna knock some
I
points
couldn't
off.
find. I think there's probably. I bet if I went into settings, I'd find the option that's like, don't let me play randos. But I've not been bothered to do it. So for that reason, I've taken away some of their potential points that they would get a 10 with. But every now and again, they've got like celebrities you can play. Like say it was like Rosa Parks' birthday, you could play against Rosa Parks, and if you beat her, you'll get a new Rosa Parks tile, which is like a bus, which I did, and I've got. But it's a sort of strange meta game on it. I like it though.
Wait,
it's quite cute.
Is that a real one?
Yeah, I did. I think I've beaten. I had Marie Curie on there. If you beat her, you get like a little special test tube tile. I think right now it's either Mozart or the Wright brothers.
You can't do that. You can't have the bus.
It's what it is, though. I think if you tap it, it gives you like a bit of a backstory. Like, hey, this is Rosa Parks.
That's cool. Yeah, that's cool.
famous
It's just
for.
sometimes it seems a bit frivolous for a Scrabble phone game. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
But I suppose if there's an argument for it to be helpful.
yeah, it's interesting. I mean, it's a good way to have like live ops, I guess. Like you can just be like, some historical person's having a birthday today. Let's make a. What do you do then?
Like
Van Gogh.
Google
What's
do it,
Van Gogh?
right?
He cut his ear off, yeah.
Cut his
Here,
ear.
get a tile with an ear on it, with a little bit of blood dripping
And a
off.
sunflower.
Yeah, that could be. Yeah.
Sorry,
Van Gogh. Van Gogh,
yeah.
because I know how to pronounce it properly.
So you've been playing. Have you been playing much though? Like on your because phone games now. I will now, despite your best efforts and my best efforts, I am going to steer this towards a plug and a chat about ustwo games. Now, of course,
ustwo games,
mobile games, by and large, there's still a little bit, press the match 3 and do the thing, and it's just Scrabble again, or it's Scrabble where you can collect slightly questionable tiles,
Yeah.
And there are still, relatively speaking, fewer complete experiences that you might get on a different console, for example. Would you say? Are you finding any more games that are not just Scrabble again on mobiles that you are like, this is pretty rad, that aren't just ustwo games?
Oh, what? Well, come on, mate, you messing my plug, mate. Messing my plug. No, I mean, it's tricky. Like the premium mobile game space that we've occupied for a bit, it definitely isn't quite hitting as it used to, is it? Like it's more like Apple Arcade is where you'd find those kind of games now. So if you had thingy, there's like Grindstone, and there's like what other games are on there? I mean, I've got an Android phone, so I actually don't have Arcade.
No, I don't either.
So I actually don't really know what's on there, Gary. Sneaky
Are you allowed to
Sasquatch.
say that?
Maybe edit that out. I don't know. But those sort of shorter experiences. There's a new game from the Beneath a Steel Sky sequel. It's on there.
Oh.
Thing is, right? They're mobile, but they're not only mobile. You can get them on Mac, and you can get them on like.
Right, so you're not
TV
making them
as
from
well.
the ground up tailored to be a mobile game, whereas like something
I
like
mean, they've got to work on all of them.
for example, I don't know, Assemble with Care, for example.
Except with care.
Yeah.
What's that? What's that? That sounds great.
It's just some like you repair shit and
It's nice. It sounds good.
Someone chats to you about like, oh, this
With
is
their life.
I'm quite sad. Can you repair this? I'll be happier and stuff. And you're like, all right then. Yeah, and then you do, and then they're like,
thanks, mate. I'm happier now.
Thank you. And then she's like, maybe I'm happy and I've learned something as well. And then like, you do that like about 7 or 8 times. And
the real friends are the people you repair along the way. Doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense as a phrase.
I forgot what point I was going to make now from that. Yeah, because you know you made that game Assemble with Care. It's 2 games, lovely game where you repair items. She's Maria. She loves to repair stuff. That's her passion, and through it she meets people people with items that are important to them, and it reveals something about their life, and you learn about these characters and relationships. But you know, that was made, like the mechanics of that are made from the ground up to be on phone, the tactile kind of making stuff, playing with stuff. And you know, I was in the studio. Maybe we should give people a bit of background. They probably know that I was there for like 3 or 4 years.
Just
taking
click
photos
this
of
link to hear Gary's.
Click the link to my
background.
photos. Yeah, to the background.
Do this
so much
for video. You can click
so
this
much,
video.
so much work to do now. Click this link.
Yeah, don't do it. Do your intro. I'm muting myself.
It's all right. Seeing that game when you're putting it together and working out how it's like a totally new game system, really, like making like these mechanics to repair stuff, and like it was just mad. Like it was like trying to figure out how you'd make that work on mobile and make it exclusively for mobile like that was like really cool, and cool to just sit there and see, you know, everyone do the hard work. I could just stand around and go, oh, that's interesting, that looks really fucking difficult, and you know, cool. But as you say, like the stuff that is like a longer sort of single player story experience or whatever is stuff that you can also get on Mac, or you can get on something else, or like it's not built around the phone, like using a phone. Like if you think about that, like I think there's parallels to be drawn between Assemble with Care over here, and over here I see Trauma Center on the DS. Yeah, you can unmute now because it's like a silent film.
I like it. No, I loved Trauma Center.
Yeah. And you know what I mean? Like the thing about both those games is that you couldn't also stick it on, because they stuck Trauma Center on Wii, and I personally didn't like it, because I'm like, but I don't feel like I'm cutting into a person.
Yeah, you want that 1-to-1 direct. I wanna
the 1-to-1,
because you had the stylus as well, which was like your little scalpel, and you were like, let me cut into your eye. Oh, there's glass shards in there. Crap, let's better get them out. Yeah. Pull out. I think that happened. It was genuinely like sometimes you cut someone's perfectly intact skin.
And there's glass inside.
There's a bunch of glass in there, mate. How's that? Let's pull those out.
But do you know what I mean? There's a similar, and that's the appeal of that, and it's the same thing where like it can only work on the phone because you're pulling the bits together, and they did like Joel and. I can't remember else. I just remember Joel working on it, but who else worked on the actual?
He's very charismatic. We had Joel, we had Leah, we had Matt, AD, who else was there? Laura,
on the actual like
Chris,
you know,
on the level designy stuff,
the mechanics of making it work and shit like that's just so mad. Like just making that work from idea to like, because you know the process. You can tell us a bit more about the process. But you know, you had all the prototypes like floating around, like what we're gonna make and stuff, and then like that kind of came to the fore as like one of the ones. That and Alba, which came out, which was sick as well. Alba's great, man. Sam, my daughter, my 9-year-old, absolutely loves that game, man.
She's 9 now.
She's 9, mate. Yeah.
Flipping heck.
Got a picture of you playing the ukulele while she sits there.
Yeah,
and she's like about 4 in that picture.
There's no way that's like.
Yeah.
Could it have been? When was that, mate?
5?
Was that maybe like
20?
If that was 2016? No way. That's too long ago, Gary. No, I can remember that day though. I can remember that happening.
Yeah. That's the passage of time, friend.
Time flies, mate.
All this stuff we own is just screws and wires. Except sometimes it isn't. A whole life can be captured in the flash of a camera. Wounds healed by picking up a phone. Even the smallest object can hold the biggest meaning. But when it all falls apart, how do we put things together again?
Have you all been working from home? Or like have you
Yeah.
been mixing it up?
Been all home. We've got,
What's changed?
if you really, really wanted to go in, because you felt like trapped in your house,
Yeah.
the company would be like, if you want to go in,
Yeah.
you're allowed. Most of us have keys to the studio, and if you wanted to just
Right.
get a change of scenery, you're allowed. But there's no like company pressure for us to go in. I
Yeah.
mean, probably even when the government says it's okay to go in, we're probably still gonna like
Yeah.
wait and see a bit, because
Has it been? What's it been
Yeah, I'm
like
not gonna-
doing it like this?
it's been interesting, mate. It's been interesting. It's not been as hard as I thought it might be, to be honest. Like a lot of us are like people. We get a lot of vibes. We
Yeah.
get like just being in the room with someone and just like chatting crap to each other
the
and
way
like
you work,
spitballing and connecting everything.
Like
It's
the way you work, you've got all those meeting like spaces set up, meeting spaces, idea space.
meeting space,
But like you
meeting
know,
rooms.
you've got all these like open areas where you can just like, if you're trying to sort something out, a couple of you just like walk up and go, right, what we're going to do about this, and you just all sort of totter off to another spot in the office, right, and then you can stick it on the fucking walls, and you can stick stuff up and start and like solving it, right. So you must be missing that at least, like a bit. Like you can't just like, or other digital solutions for that.
Well, Gary, this is time to plug a good program. Well, it's not a program. It's a website. It's a software. It's a tool called Miro.
No,
It used to be called Real Time Board. It's basically like a digital whiteboard, which you can just move stuff around, and you can see like other people's like all real time and stuff. So you can see like other people's. You can literally see other people's mouse cursors moving around.
Oh mate, and you can
You
chat.
can see where people are. You can chat. So we normally do it with a call. So we normally do like a Zoom call or a Hangouts.
Yeah.
And be like, all right, here's the link to the mirror. Everyone jump in, and we like. So we use that for sort of.
And you get like a mouse pointer each.
Yeah, everyone has a mouse point. You can see
that
where the mouse
sounds
pointers
like
moving
you
around.
get one to yourself.
Everyone gets one. It's great. It's wicked. So we've been using that. Like
That sounds cool.
it's been the best tool we found for any sort of collaborative work. Like you can we've done a bunch of workshops in it. We do our sprint retros in there.
What's a
We
sprint
do
retro?
a bunch of plans.
My
Sprint
God.
retro.
Yeah.
Well, with the agile product
the
development
fans.
cycle. So what we do is we work in 2-week units of work. Basically, we plan out every week. We plan out 2 weeks of work.
Yeah.
Everyone gets a task to do. We go through that. At the end of the 2 weeks, we have a look at what we've made. We go, yeah, that was cool, wicked. And then we spend an hour. I run this meeting as a producer, where we just talk about like some of the things that went really well over the last 3 weeks, like really good stuff that we should always continue to do. Never forget that these things happen and keep them. And 3 things like, oh, that wasn't as good as it could be. This could be a bit better. And so using a tool like Miro, I can just like give everyone a slide. Like everyone gets to post it. I give everyone a bunch of post-its. I've got like different buckets. I've got a bucket for the really good stuff. I've got a bucket for the could be better stuff, and a bucket for the actions we'll take to get the could be better stuff good. So like we got timers in there. Like Miro's really cool. He's got timers. Everyone's got stuff. A few weeks back, like for some reason, someone dropped a picture of Shrek in there, and then like a bit of chaos descended, and everyone was putting all these Shreks everywhere, and so it became like what happened now? Shrek. What was Shrek this week? And Shrek became like good.
Oh, there's 20 years old.
Huh?
It's 20 years old, isn't it, Shrek?
Oh yeah, it's 20 years old. It's weird because our weird Shrek-ism predates this the anniversary. It was completely unrelated. Someone just thought of Shrek.
The spirit of
No
Shrek
idea.
just flowed through you all.
Yeah,
out of
makes no
nowhere.
sense. But yeah,
Weird.
we can all move stuff around, and you can click a button. Like you get to see who's in your Miro board with you, and if you click on that person, the camera will just trace and follow their cursor, so you can see what they're looking at and stuff. So someone could be like, "These are the 3 things that I thought we could be better at," and you can click that thing, you just watch the person, and it's like everyone's concentrating and focusing on what that person does. And yeah, it's got a timer in there. You also got pictures, all sorts of different shapes. You can draw videos in there, like embedded YouTube videos in it. This is a really good tool.
That sounds really useful.
And we use that, and that's been our best way to like do things together. Because yeah, obviously, like as you said, like we used to be able to just walk around, grab someone, and do stuff. Now, if you want to do that, it's like you have to message them on Slack. You got a minute? Yeah, all right. I'm just starting up a video call with you.
Yeah.
And everything's like that, and like all our meetings are also video calls, so everything feels like a meeting now. Which is
Right.
a bit of a problem. We're trying to fix that. But it's like, yeah, anytime you want to speak to someone now, unless you can just do it very quickly in DMs, you kind of always have to start some sort of like Google Meet or
Yeah.
a Zoom call or a Slack call, and it feels a bit meetingy. So like, it feels like you've been in meetings all day, even if I've just chatted with you about some stuff, and it's not officially a meeting. It's the same setup. It's like you're at your
Yeah,
desk.
because
You've
you've
got
got
your
to
video
like
on.
make a
all that
point
stuff.
of setting it up, haven't you? And like,
Yeah.
oh god, this is going to be creaky on the mic. Sorry, everyone.
It's not that bad. It's not that bad. I'll mute you. I'll just mute you. It's fine.
Yeah,
I can't mute you. That's not fair. But yeah,
Let's try.
it's been alright though. We tried to do a thing where like, if you're gonna just have a chat with someone, why not just make it like a voice only call?
Right. Yeah.
So it feels a bit like chatting to a mate on the phone as opposed to the video stuff, because you get tired. I think people are getting tired of Zoomy stuff. Like, you want to see people
You want
in
like
person.
you want technology, right? What you want is you want like an always open room, and you could be like, I've just gone in the room, and you could almost like get something where everyone's got like a little notification, like someone's just gone in that room, and you can be like, oh, I'll just go in and
Yeah.
be like, you right, mate?
Well, Gary, that reminds me, we do actually have a thing on Discord. We've got our own like company Discord, and we've got, check this out, we've got this bot.
Yeah.
It's that face, mate. We've got this bot, which is like a karaoke bot. So we've got a special channel. If you're in there,
Yeah.
the karaoke bot is in there as well with you, listening, and you can type in the karaoke channel like play blah 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 blah, and it'll play music, and you can like turn the karaoke bot down, so it's like a little background music, and
Yeah.
you're in there, and someone can join, and you can have a little just chat about random stuff with music playing, and
That's
you can
cool.
all each like put your songs on.
That's
So
nice.
that was like a cool, like a collaborative little working space.
So there's lots
Not
of
been using
stuff.
it that much lately though,
Have you
but
not?
it's fun.
But that sounds like there's a lot of stuff that can at least like keep that workflow going. The ustwo
Yeah.
style, you keep your ustwo
Well-
style, right? Because that's key to what you make, I think.
Yeah, I think so too. David pointed something out really good last year. He was saying, remember by our TV, obviously we've got all the memes. We call it the meme wall. Like by the TVs, we got. If you've not been to the studio, you've probably seen pictures of it. Maybe people. If you've not, go on Gary's website, check out his photos. They're really good. GarethDutton.co.uk/photography. Is that the right URL?
Yeah,
I
it's
don't
close
know.
enough. Yeah, it's close enough. Yeah.
www.gary.dutton /photos/pics .html.
Yeah.
That'll update you there. But yeah, we have all these memes. We're always photoshopping each other. We're always putting each other just silly places and all this silly stuff. And we didn't have that. We didn't have any sort of digital version of that. So David was like, we need a digital version of that. So I've made a Slack channel for us. It's called the Meme Wall. And we just dump in all the memes. And we have a bonus feature, because everything's digital, means we can have videos in the meme wall. So we can have like meme videos in there now as well. So if
Oh my
anyone's
God.
feeling fancy and wants to make like a silly dumb video, we have a place where you can watch them. So just doing that, and that when that channel got made, everyone was like, yes, finally, and everyone had like just had
Yeah.
a massive like explosion of like memes getting thrown in of like this is part of the core culture. We're always making silly stuff.
Yeah.
Even though we make like very serious games, like our output commercially is very serious.
Yeah, it
Like,
doesn't really
yes,
reflect in the game.
we're making yeah, you go to see, you might think, wow, these guys will be so serious, they're going to all have like really tiny glasses and be like, yeah, awesome, and monocles and be drinking red wine as we solve all these problems. But really we're not. It's just me taking a picture of someone might say that they're like they hurt their foot, and I'll find a picture of someone who's got a hurt foot and just put my mate's face on it. That's how ridiculous it is. We're so just regular. We're so regular. I don't know how we've somehow created this brand where it looks like we're so professional. Everything's intended. Blah blah blah. There's so much like user testing and stuff that goes into what we do.
Yeah.
To check it out. It's not like that we've just got a great vision and we just run with it and we never check with anyone else. We know it's going to be a massive hit, and things come out at the end being really good. It's like imagine how would you make a game that everyone can play without actually testing it on everyone? David is from Valencia, and there's like we've seen some other Spanish residents tweeting and saying like, oh my gosh, the town hall in Alba is clearly this town hall from Valencia, and it's like, clearly that's where the inspiration's from. So he's picked like a lot of real world like references and stuff.
Yeah.
And just stuff that he remembers, the stuff that's familiar to him, because then it's like really easy to get the vibe right.
Yeah.
People are like, yeah, cool, like, yeah, this is what it was like, yeah, and like as a kid when I'll be at grandma's house, it'll be there, and then you had like a little trek into town, so like all those sorts of like things and how the like island's been laid out. It makes sense. It's like it feels more like a real place because it's based on someone's real experiences and like memories of being in a physical place. That's very, very similar. But then obviously put like all these different animals. I think the animals are all actually native to that part. But I don't think you ever get them in such a small, condensed thing. Like, what? Zebras? Elephants? Dingoes? What?
It's
Spain?
You just get everything. What a resort that is, man. You're just like...
It's amazing, mate. Like Tiger King. But yeah, it's sweet. It's a sweet game, yeah. It's like, I think about the joy of
I think tonally as well. I think tonally it's like, it's lighter than the other stuff, right? It's lighter than like Monument Valley and I suppose like Monument Valley's on that side, isn't it? It's we wouldn't call it heavy, but it's like what would you call the vibe? It's almost like a dreamy,
bit dreamy,
serious, not serious, but
it's
like
not really. Would you call it pretentious? Would you just that? Would you describe it as pretentious?
Well, it's like minimalist, artistic, kind of ambient, you know, lore.
Yeah,
kind of unspoken law, like your journeys and that sort of thing, right?
Yeah, maybe Monument Valley's got more like a sort of like indie film vibe. Like, wow, did you see that film? Did you see the story, the portrayal of the princess who was returning what she stole? Like, you would sound like sort of. We described Monument Valley originally as a coffee table book.
Yeah.
Like a sort of fancy thing that you have. Like, oh, have you seen this? You know, my new iPad. I've got this new game, Monument Valley. Like, we described it as that back in the day. Yeah. So maybe it has a bit of that sort of like a fanciness to it. It's like, hey, yeah, check this out. It's got a deep storyline. It's not explicit in what it's trying to convey. It's left to the player's interpretation and your own mind, and it makes you sound a bit fancy and clever and stuff when you do it. But Alba's more just like, yay, I'm a kid. Yay, I'm trying to stop the bad guy, and it's just a bit more like a feel good.
Well, that's
good thing. I
guess that's the difference, because like again, with that you're sort of talking about making it fit the device it was on, because you were looking at like iPad and you were looking at, obviously that's all about clean lines and sort of slickness and the display, and so that all fits what it was on, right? But obviously with Alba you can, you know, you've moved out a bit and so it's on Steam and that sort of thing, and you can sort of take
console soon.
Console soon, is it? Sweet. Which one?
I should have checked with Oscar what I'm allowed to say, but I'm just gonna very quickly, all right? Someone else asked about console recently. I'm just gonna check what Oscar said last time someone asked, and I'll just repeat what he said.
Assemble with Care is kind of in between the two, because it's more based in the real world, but it's not as light as Alba in terms of like the tone, right?
The tone, it's a bit more serious again. Yeah, it's a bit more. If you had Monument Valley on this side, Alba on that side, then Assemble Care was definitely like more to the Monument Valley side stuff. It's like we focus a bit more on narrative for that game. We've obviously got like full voiceover and stuff like that. We always try and do something new. So like Monument Valley was like, what if someone made a game that everyone could play, and it was a mobile game that just looked nice and had like sweet mechanics and like was accessible.
Yeah.
And then like Monument Valley 2 is like, what if we just amped that all up a bit? I mean, added like a story of like a mother and a child. That's like the USP. There seems to always be like a bit of a USP. And then Assemble with Care is like added narrative and like voiceover, and we had like stories. Like, what if we really tried to tell a story this time? Because the other Monument Valley games, they're a bit light on the story. There's enough story in there for you to fill in the blanks. But this one's Assemble with Care is a bit more like, let's be a bit more like direct and like
explicit,
like tell an actual story that we're trying to tell.
Get
and
the
not
id
like
in there,
get the id, get your ego, get your super ego, all that stuff in there, mate. And then Alba is just like, what's like the joy of childhood? What's like a fun, like open world game? What if someone hadn't played an open world game before, and we wanted to introduce you to open world games in a like nice way? And we also tried to like, we looked at how could you make an open world game that doesn't necessarily have all the standard open world stuff. So we tried to have like no map, for example. We tried to make it so memorable And so like in real life, like sometimes you wouldn't have a map. Like you don't always have a map. Or when you were a little kid, you didn't just have a big map where you would like learn everything was. You just remember it. You'd be like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go to the beach. The beach is it's that way, right? And you'd run down to the beach.
Yeah. You'd have like a mini map in the bottom right of your vision that's just
that tells you where to go. So we tried to do that. We were like, there's a lot of stuff to do. Would people be able to remember who asked you to do what or where people were on the map? And we found that like in testing, like, nah, not really. So you do kind of need like a bit of a like quest log or you need to write out all the stuff you've told people.
Sure,
yeah. And you need a map because people will get lost. We tried it. It's good. I like that we attempted such things.
Well, that's
like,
good.
We tried to make it like a bit. Yeah, we were like, what if you just had an island, you just run around, you get lost in, it's fun to get lost in it. But then we were like, actually, people didn't have fun.
It's not
Getting
fun.
lost is actually not fun at all.
It's really annoying.
When you don't know where you are, you don't know where you're going. But yeah, we spent a bit of time trying that stuff out. So like Alba's like, my first sort of open world game.
Yeah.
And it's like got a bunch of sweet stuff in it. The mechanics are not like super sophisticated. Like there's not like, we had all these ideas before with like the photography, like you have to set the aperture and focus on the birds and do all this stuff. And we're like, let's make it a camera phone, which just autofocuses because is that fun to people who are not already into like photography?
Only me.
Do you want to set the aperture? Do you want to set the aperture?
I do.
Mate?
But that's
to
me.
adjust your white balance on every bird.
I'd love to do that, yeah.
Yeah, and then we have to make a system. They were like, we have to code a system where when you take a photo to your granddad, he's like, oh, that photo's rubbish, mate. You need to tweak the white balance on that one.
Yeah.
It's a bit out of focus, actually. What's up with that?
Just turn
your
him
mise en scène is all wrong, Alba. What is
turn
this?
into horrible critical granddad instead. He's just
like
never likes your photos.
Yeah,
and
takes his glasses off, like flip it now. So yeah,
he's just like, give me that camera back, mate. Give me that camera
back.
Just don't
have a camera phone.
You know what? Don't bother. Have the camera phone. Just auto. Put it on auto. Just knock yourself out. Don't bring him to me. I'm not interested.
Yeah, not interested.
Some like horrible, serious origin story.
Alba's granddad's like, yikes. Okay,
cool. Whoa.
Right. When you heading back? When you headed back to London again, Alba? Cool. All right, wicked. Yeah.
When you going? Just checking. Just need to.
So the island itself went through a lot of changes, like through development. Like it genuinely changed a lot. I think the main thing was that it just got smaller.
Yeah.
So a lot of it is, as I say, we rely a lot on like user testing and stuff. So like we make an island, bare bones island, like white box, grey box, if you will. It's like super basic. Put some landmarks on it. Set some tasks like, okay, you go to the beach. Can you go to the house on the hill? Can you go to the mountains? And see like if people are able to navigate around okay, and if they feel like get them to do it and be like, how'd that feel? It was like I felt tired going up from the beach to the mountain. I felt like pretty far and be like, okay, maybe it's a bit too far. It's always balance. It's always the trickiest part of game stuff, right? Because for someone, that was too much. For someone else, it was like, oh, that's fine. So it's like, how do you find that sweet spot? It's a problem that we had with Monument Valley, for example. Like core gamers, like proper gamers find Monument Valley so flipping easy.
Yeah.
They're like, this is the easiest game of all time. People who've not played a game, who are people we also target, are like, I'm stuck on level 4. Like, can you help me? And it's like, how do you find that balance between
can you? You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's not so easy that the core gamers are like, this is ridiculous, and it's not so hard that like people who don't play are like, I have to give up. I can't play.
It's like, I guess that's like a good example of that is like your Mario games, right? Your modern Mario games where like you just play through the levels, you can pretty much piss your way through, right? But then you come back and then what the challenge is like, right, I need to get all 3 big coins on this level or collect all the stars, right?
Yeah.
And they sort of layer that in. Get that cough out. And you layer all that in over the top of the world. So there's like the core kind of path that you can make like a piece of piddle, and then like you layer stuff on top, right? That's like extra challenge. That's like they do it the best, but they're quite like unique in that sense. They're kind of on their own. Yeah,
it's like they made the game design in a way where it's like, you can play through. I mean, actually, Odyssey is one of the games I played through during lockdown. Actually, got it from birthday last year. Played through it. Great game. It's like they're part of the design now. It's become like, you can play through. You can do the core path. If you just want to go through the levels and see the ending, you only ever have to do like just get 1 star, which you made quite easy for you to get through that. And you go to a new world now, and they've always got a bunch of easy ones. I mean, Odyssey, even you can literally buy the stars if you wanted. The gold coins. It's like, if you found that too hard, just literally buy it, and you can just pay your way to get through to the end of the game. See the end of the game and be like, cool. And then if you wanted that additional challenge, you can go back and then get enough stars to get to the dark side of the moon. Spoiler alert. Sorry, spoiler alert, everyone. And then do that like proper mad challenge at the end, which I did.
Did you do it?
And flipping heck, it was a bit. I did a slightly cheated. I found out there's a way to miss out, to skip out like a little section in the middle.
I heard
I
that.
didn't want to do it, so I just skipped it. I'm sorry, everyone.
Oh, disgusting. I found the bit well annoying, the penguin bit, and that it just because it didn't really, it wasn't like, it felt a bit wonky, and it was pissing me off. You know, the penguin with the beak, the springy beak, and you go bong, 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 and you go up and
I like that.
I do like that, but on that last challenge,
Like
it didn't work properly.
Just like,
and I was like,
frustrating.
this is annoying, mate. But
I'm glad we didn't have the the roll thing. Lucky there was no sort of racing element. You know the one where you have to bound.
Yeah. No, you couldn't have that in there. That would be.
Why didn't you just put Mario Kart in it instead? If you made Mario Kart, just
imagine that. Just
copy and paste the code from Mario Kart in there, and just get a little bit of Mario Kart in there.
It's like Judgment.
They like bouncing.
Like Judgment, mate. You know, Judgment, the Yakuza spin-off game.
Haven't got it. I haven't played it.
So,
but I've got 3 and 4. Yeah. When you said Judgment, I was like, is that the game? The game that's like was banned in China, but it's not.
No. Oh yeah, I know what you mean.
Game.
No, I can't remember what it's called.
It has a name that's a bit like Judgment, but it's not Judgment at all, is it?
Yeah, no, I know what you mean. I can't remember what it's called off the top of my head. But that's got like the entirety of Virtua Fighter 5 in it. You go to the arcade and you can just play Virtua Fighter 5 in full, like. It's well good. You could just do that. Just stick it. Just literally just put Mario Kart in the middle.
Put Mario Kart. You've already done the work, mate. Just pop it in. Even just do the SNES one. Smaller, it's quicker.
Yeah,
just do that quick. Lazy devs. Lazy devs, mate. Why are you not putting another whole game into your game? If it's made in Unity, it's a prefab. Just drop that prefab in.
Pull the cartridge out of the NES, put it on top of the master disc of the CD, and just push it all in. And that's how it works.
Done. Yeah. That was the only part I didn't enjoy. I didn't like the bouncy thing. It was like, do I have to really beat these?
I didn't mind,
things?
but no, I hear you. That's going to be the next Mario Kart. It's all that. Sorry to tell you. It's all bouncy lads.
You have to bound.
Everyone's bouncing.
All right, let's go. Let's get back in. It's back in the flow, Gary. Come on, bring this. Get this horse back under control, mate.
Oh God, I don't know where the horse is. Like the horse is upside down in the river now, mate. The horse.
What you been playing, mate?
I've been playing Resident Evil. I told you already. Resident Evil 7.
That's it.
And Street Fighter.
Lots of Street Fighter. Right?
Too much Street Fighter. Too much Street. But the Kumites today. People are back in person. People are back in person playing.
I like that video you sent me. That video you sent me.
What video did I send you of Takedo? What was he doing?
Yeah. He had a fight stick and a hitbox, and F-Word was asking him.
Any words from you, Takedo, for your victims this weekend?
I am ready to body all with my 2 weapons.
Oh, he's got a hitbox and the arcade stick. One for Akuma, one for Yuri, and I love it. I love it.
I was like, Takedo's really got good forearm strength, arm strength, because those are heavy, mate, and he's holding them like really stably as well.
I've
really
seen a photo of him with his shirt off, man, and he's all oiled up. Have you seen that?
Oily fans.
Oily
fans. Oily fans. That might be the new one, mate. We should make that. Wait, but that suggests that the fans are oily.
It's just Hakan from Street Fighter 4. It's like oily fans.
Yeah, basically just throwing it all on.
Here I come!
I feel like Street Fighter 4. I just like that game. Maybe I'm not a fighting game enjoyer. Maybe it's I'm a Street Fighter 4 guy. Maybe it's that specific. There's so much good stuff going on with Street Fighter 4 as well. I feel like it was a timing thing. Like in the way that Monument Valley came out around the time where there's a lot of this debate and discussion about mobile games, like they're all free to play, they're meaningless, they're pointless, and it came out at the right time. Street Fighter 4 for me came to my life at like the right time. It's like the FSP versus Gandhi was coming out, and there was like a lot of like fun moments as well, like surrounding it, like not just the game itself, but there's a lot of other stuff
that
I've attached to it. Yeah, the whole scene and stuff, and like going up to Heart of Gaming, playing some sets, getting beat up by. Did you know what happened the first time me, Manish, and Danson went up there?
Nope.
But we went up there just to like play games and stuff. We had all been playing on PlayStation 3, which we later realized was running at like 50 hertz or something.
Yeah.
So like all the timing for all our combos was completely off because they only play on Xbox, the actual tournament standard, right? And there were like a bunch of like pro players came in. I think Problem X was there, RMZ was there, a bunch of other like UK like proper fighting game gods, right? And a guy was asking like, "Oh, we need more people for this like set we're gonna do now. The dark sets. You guys want to play?"
Yeah.
And like it's like £5 or whatever to get in and stuff. And we were like, "We're really crap. We don't want to." And they were like, "Look, we'll let you just play. You don't have to pay us anything. We'll let you play. But if you happen to win, you won't get any prize money." We were like, "Okay, cool. We'll do that."
Okay.
Right? Because it was like we didn't pay. We didn't pay to play. They're giving us do us a favor.
I guess.
And we just like I managed to scrubbily beat Danson in my first match. I was like, "Wee!" And we had a hug afterwards because we were so nervous and scared. And I think the commentators are like they're hugging each other for some reason. And then the next game, I had to play like RMZ, who whipped out his Yun. And I think he's just perfect to me every game.
Yeah,
I think it was off stream. So that protected my dignity a bit.
That's good.
But it was just like, this is insane. I couldn't even do a jab short into headbutt, mate. Like the timing was so different to me. I was like, but this works when we play in the studio. But it was like, yeah, PlayStation was clearly like not running at the correct frame rate. Oh, mate. But it was fun. It was fun.
I love that. I want to see that. I want to see that clip.
I hope it doesn't exist.
You and Danson
I hope
hugging
it's
each
not
other.
online. We announced many years ago that there would be a Monument Valley 3. And we announced many years ago we were hiring a team for Monument Valley 3. So we've got our Monument Valley 3 team, and they are doing stuff, but it's super early. Like people are saying, is it not done yet? We're like, mate, bless you, bless your socks, bless your
That's the
socks,
thing.
mate.
You get
That's
the
not how
full
we do.
with Monument Valley, the series. You get the full like games fan response, don't you? Of like, why isn't it finished? Where's the next one? What the like? You get the rabid, the folk that really don't know how long anything takes, and they're just like, why isn't it out yet? Why haven't they just like stuck 3 on the end and stuck in?
Yeah, just put some
chucked it
more
out there.
levels
They've
on.
already got like the level maker bit. Just make another one. Just turn it
make
around.
another one.
Just reverse the levels. You have to do it backwards.
Mirror mode.
Like mirror mode, yeah.
That's genius. It's funny, we do get a bunch of unsolicited like messages from people saying like, look, this is what you should do for Monument Valley 3, yeah? Got an idea for you. Do this, okay? Multiplayer online, yeah? And it's like a battle royale, so it's like 100 players. So, all right, thanks.
I'll
thanks,
play that.
Yeah. I mean,
Everyone trying to get the
probably
block
would,
in the
but
right
I don't know
place,
if
but everyone can move it. It'd be so annoying. You'd be like,
it'd be so frustrating. People like walking up the sides, like stairs and stuff like that way, like getting in your way. It's gonna come eventually, and I don't think we've said anything else publicly, so I won't say anything
no,
publicly.
but it's exciting. That's cool. And
Yeah, it should be cool.
I want.
Should be good.
I was you know I'm privy to lots of data that other people aren't actually about the company.
And there is one level that did make it in to 2 that I want to see, and I don't think it'll ever make it in. But
You have to tell me what one that is.
should we bleep it? I'm going to say it, but I'm going to get.
Go on. It's nice. That was good.
That'll be
I like
exciting
that
because they'll be like
Remember-
beep, and then it'll be like, what was it?
What does he say? And then Mike went like that
Yeah,
and did a thumbs up and
that
nodded.
one was
so he
sick, and I
agreed.
really wanted that to go in, but it never did.
Did it have the music on, the sound on it when you played it?
Yes,
Yeah, that was the real thing that
that was
sold
well
it. innit?
good. That one.
Maybe.
Maybe,
You never know.
maybe.
Something
No one
borrowed,
knows.
something blue. Maybe we can get something old, something new. I don't know. Maybe we can get something.
blue.
You know what I mean? As they say, just
No.
get some stuff you've already done and like,
All right,
incorporate
okay.
it.
What's the blue
know what I
bit?
mean? Your t-shirt. Pop your
Thanks.
t-shirt in there. It's a little character called Gary.
Good. Thanks. Where can I find you?
Me, I'm on. Oh, wait, my eyes. Ow, wait, I should do that. Wait, no, but you have to do that, innit? Do that, and then I'll do that and block it. Nice try, mate.
Damn.
I'm only on the twits, really. You can find me on Twitter at Gravykun. That's GravykUN.
I've got to do one graphic for each letter now. You said that. Yeah, go on.
That's it. That's
Okay,
where you'll find me. You won't find me anywhere else, mate.
And what's the company's?
Oh right, no one cares. That's fine. Don't worry. I've got a link to the company in my Twitter bio. Just come to me first, and then you know what I mean.
Come through me. Come through you, not come through me.
Come through me. I'll give you a referral.
Not through me. I don't have no idea.
Yeah. No, it's Us2 Games. It's just USTWOGAMES. Us2Games.co.uk, Twitter /Us2 Games, Instagram Us2 Games, Facebook.
God, it's everywhere. Facebook.
You got to do it. We get a lot of messages from people, like a lot of sort of bug reports and stuff will come through via Facebook.
Thanks everyone. But thanks Mike. Thanks for giving me
Gary.
nearly 2 hours of shit to edit.
Enjoy
I will.
It, mate.
I will. Thanks.
It's been fun.
Thanks.
Is this still being recorded now?
Yeah.
What else? What's happening?
No. Stop.
We having for lunch?